Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, State Senator Pat Spearman is here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Located in the heart of Carson City, the Bank Saloon, a historic watering hole with a modern feel. With a variety of classic cocktails, featuring Nevada spirits, space for private events, conferences, and an incredible atmosphere. The Bank Saloon offers a great location to work and play. Come visit us. Located at the corner of 5th and Carson. We'll save you a drink.
Hello, is this D&D Roofing?
Yes, it is. How may I help you?
You did such a great job on my roof. May I speak to the owner?
I am an owner.
Oh, can I speak to your supervisor?
Sure.
How may I help you?
I love your work. May I speak to the owner?
I am an owner. We're all owners. Well, that's why at D&D we work so hard to keep your home safe and sound.
Oh, no wonder.
D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal. Local, employee-owned, here for you.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room at the Bank Saloon. Coverage of the 2021 Nevada legislative session is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. Ahern Rentals is ready for your next project. Liberty Dental Plan, making members shine one smile at a time. And Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are delighted to welcome back to the program State Senator Pat Spearman of Senate District 1. She is Chief Majority Whip, Chair of Commerce and Labor, Vice Chair of Health and Human Services, and also on the Growth and Infrastructure Committee. And you're also somebody who went through COVID. You ended up in the ICU, you were telling me. What happened?
I started feeling kind of poor, I guess maybe about the first week of December, and I just kind of brushed it off and said maybe it's the flu, because I didn't go out. I only went out if I had to on official business. And then by the third week I was really feeling bad. And I woke up one morning and tried to stand up and I fell down. And I couldn't breathe, and called over to the hospital, and they said, get an ambulance and get over here. So I went to one of the hospitals in Vegas, but there was no room. And Sam, I just want to say this, that, you know, this time last year when we were told to take precautions because the numbers would go up, that is real. The first hospital that I went to, they had me in a wheelchair, and I was in the ER waiting room. And it wasn't just me, it was about 6 other people. They had no beds in the ER, and they had no beds upstairs, and they were just trying to figure out where we could go. So I called my nephew, and I said, no beds. And he came back and picked me up, lifted me into the truck, and took me over to the VA. And I guess I kind of knew before they did the test, and when the doctor came back in, he said, you're positive, and we're going to start right now. And it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, you know, this cold feeling comes over you, and you're just like, oh God, you know, I was so careful. And then one of the other nurses came in and said, you know, if we have to intubate, is that okay? I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, absolutely, because I don't know anybody that was intubated that ever survived. I said, absolutely not. And so after they gave me, I can't even pronounce the name of it, that they were giving me, the doctor said, we've got some things right now that if we catch it in time, we can reduce the viral load and help your body fight it off. We got what they call it, the COVID cocktail. vitamins, and I was pretty sick. I was pretty sick. It was hard to breathe, and the joints, aches in my joints, and I guess I kind of knew maybe a couple of days before that because I woke up in a really hot sweat, and then I got the chills, and but it's nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with, and anyone who's listening to this, if you have not been vaccinated, please do that. You do not want to hear the words "you're positive," and the strain that's going around now, they say it's more contagious and more fatal. So I quickly lost patience for people who were running around saying it's a hoax and you don't have to wear your mask, because I'm saying, how did I get this? The only thing I did was I went out when I had to go to like Grant Sawyer, and I had to go to City Hall. If I had to do something official business, that's the only time I went out. Other than that, I was in the house. So I don't know where I got it. I don't know. I just know that it's nothing to play with. And I'm still at a place right now where my lungs have not fully gotten back to where they were, but I'm a whole lot better than I was in January.
Well, we're very glad to hear that. Let me ask you that you're a preacher,
yes,
as one of your other jobs. Was there a moment where you thought that you might pass on?
There was actually, but I have to say this, it wasn't a moment of sadness. It was, I guess it was just a moment of, I feel like we were all put here to do something that is the right thing. And my question was, have I done it all? Have I done everything that I was supposed to do? And I have to tell you a kind of funny story. I don't know how long I was up in the ICU, but anyway, I woke up and I was just kind of groggy, and I looked around and I saw all these people in white. You know, and I said, oh God, I said, am I in heaven or what? You know, they were all standing around. Well, in the VA, they had the full PPEs. And so everybody was white with the mask on, and they had the, the hose and everything like that. And I woke up and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just kind of went back to sleep. But then when I woke up again, I said, oh, okay, I must not be in heaven. That's just a dream.
We are glad you are here. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll get to some issues right after this time out.
Sure.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
The Do It Right guys at Nevada Heating have one mission. Your air conditioner breaks down today. We fix it today. Why sweat for days while your air is down when Nevada Heating can get the job done today and you can get cool again? For nearly 50 years, locally owned Nevada Heating has been getting the job done right. Call today at 323-5585 or see us online at nevadaheating.com.
Serving Our Kids Foundation's mission is to serve homeless, at-risk, and food insecure children in grades K through 8 throughout Southern Nevada. During the pandemic, Serving Our Kids has seen a 42% increase in the number of children served, providing more than 4,500 meals to kids in over 100 schools weekly. Serving Our Kids is powered by community support and volunteers. To learn how you can help, visit servingourkids.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Pat Spearman of Senate District 1. John Lee has changed from Democrat to Republican, the mayor of North Las Vegas. Looks like he's going to run for governor. That opens up mayor of North Las Vegas, and there's a lot of people saying, Pat Spearman could be running for mayor of Las Vegas. You want to put that to rest?
Well, Sam, here's what I'm going to say. I am so busy with just trying to get stuff done this session. Anything that anybody asks me about, I'm like, please, we can't talk about it because I got to get through session. Running for mayor it's not something that's been on my radar. So let me get through session, and then I'll try to think about it. I've got some really important bills that I'm trying to usher through. One is a bill, as you know, that will provide an escrow account, a separate escrow account for people who are in low-wealth communities living in socially subsidized housing, government-subsidized housing, and for foster children who are aging out of foster care. And what it would do is it would create an escrow account that would be run by the state treasurer. It's an individual development account, that's what we're calling it. And it's separate and apart from any income that they have, but it is a way for them to save so that they can make a down payment on a home, they can save so they can start a business, they can save so they can pay off whatever debts that are keeping them from buying a home. And then on the foster care side, when children age out of the foster care system, you know, I ask people, what do they do? What happens? At midnight, what happens? What happens a week after that? Whenever it is that they say, you're 18 now and it's done. Well, most of them have to try to figure it out. And I think that's wrong. So what this bill would do is it would allow foster care children and parents, if they wanted to, and you and I, if we wanted to contribute to it, would be able to contribute to it. And we're looking to try to raise money through grants so that it'll be a 5-to-1 match. When foster care children age out of the system, now they have some type of financial security. And now they can, instead of them going to live on the streets, which some of them do, because keep in mind, if you're in the foster care system and you've never had a stable foster home or have not been adopted, you've been in that institution all your life. So when you age out, there's no family you can go to. You know, may not have friends. So many of them wind up on the street. And that's wrong, because when they wind up on the street, now you're talking about becoming vulnerable to human trafficking. You're talking, and in the COVID environment, you're talking about becoming vulnerable to that. So this is a bill that I had in the 2019 session, and we had to make some tweaks on it. And this time, I'm hoping we get it across the finish line. So when I'm not trying to be evasive when I say that, but that's a real important bill to me, and so I'm just kind of focusing on those sorts of things.
Let me ask you about this. So, you know, because until the Economic Forum numbers come back, and then till the federal government actually lets Nevada know what kind of money is going to be available and what the rules are to go along with it, the Biden bucks as it's been kind of called, you know, is there money available in the current state budget that you're planning to be able to take care of this? How much would you need to get it started?
Well, this isn't, and that's just it's budget neutral, because we're not asking for any money. We're not asking for any money. What we're asking is to create the infrastructure so that someone in a low wealth community, right now, people who are receiving benefits, SNAP and other benefits to help them just survive, they can't have a savings account that's over a certain amount of money. They can't, your car has to be, you know, a certain number of years old. So we're not asking for the state to subsidize. What we're saying is that when this bill passes, people who want to help them, and even if they want to help themselves, contribute to this separate escrow account. And it's not a big pot. It's, if I'm going to contribute to it, it's my individual development account with my information on it. If I've got $2 to put in it, $5 to put in it, then I'll do that. And if somebody says, you know, this, you know, Pat works with me and I've been watching her struggle and her family, et cetera, so I want to help her, and they can do that. For the foster children in foster care, it's the same thing. We're not asking the state for any money. We're just saying provide an opportunity for people to be able to save so that, and foster care parents, you know, get caught in that. If you want to help, you can only help like right now. But it's very limited what you can do if you're talking something long range. So we're not asking the state for any money. We're just trying to set up the infrastructure so that it's there and people can have it. And let me just say this. You know, the current system that we have for social services, might have worked in the 50s or the 60s whenever it was designed, but it doesn't work now because it is not a system that is designed to help you pull yourself up and out because of the restrictions on savings and the restrictions on the kind of car you can have. Because keep in mind, we don't have a real mature public transportation system here in Nevada. So if you don't have a really good car,
right,
getting to work is difficult. So what I'm trying to do at the state level is change the paradigm.
Let me ask you this, because this kind of aging out goes right along with a bill that you're co-sponsoring that changes services provided to those with autism. That was one of the big concerns when we had a major push a few years ago that Ralph Tawdry was spearheading. One of the big concerns was that kids were going to age out of the system, and now they have. When you look at the families and the children affected by autism and now young adults, what are your thoughts on the needs?
So here's one of the problems. We still meet like it's 1899 every other year. And as a state that has grown both with respect to businesses coming here, corporations relocating here, et cetera, and the number of people, we should have gone to annual sessions a long time ago. And I said that because when that was initially discussed, now we're meeting every other year. Whatever was happening that year has been exacerbated the next 18 months, and the next 18 months after that, and the next 18 months after that. So here's what I say. What we have to do, first of all, we're going to have to buckle down and decide that annual sessions is something that the people of Nevada deserve. You shouldn't have to wait 18 months. If we pass something out of here at sine die and there's an unintended consequence, we can't fix it until February 2023. I mean, that doesn't make sense, right? So we're going to have to buckle down. It's going to take about 5 or 6 years because it's a constitutional change. It will not affect me, okay?
Right. You'll be termed out.
I'll be termed out. So, but in order to do this the right way, so it's the children who are on the autistic spectrum and the parents that are supporting them, and it's not just them, but it's also the children who are differently abled and the parents or kinfolks who are supporting them. It's all of these things for our very vulnerable communities that we have to pay attention to. We cannot address one. Autism spectrum is very important, extremely important, but so are the children who are hearing challenged or deaf. So are the children who are intellectually challenged, and so are those who are physically challenged. And I don't like the word disabled because there may be something that they can't do, but there are a number of things that they can. So I use the term differently able. If we look at all of this, these are the things that we have to do for our most vulnerable citizens. We have to buckle down and we have to have a comprehensive plan. A comprehensive plan to how we finance it, who we're going to hire, what is the latest technology that we might be able to use that helps us to stretch the budget.
Okay, so let me ask you, do you have support for this? Do you have a majority consensus in the legislature to support this? Because I think a lot of people watching this who are dealing with these issues would say, yeah, let's do it. But what kind of support?
Well, in terms of doing a comprehensive plan, yes, I do. Yes, I do, and it's bipartisan. The problem is many of the people who I've talked to over the last 4 or 5 years, some of them are termed out. And so here's a new group that's coming in, and we have to start all over again. But we can't start all over again until 2023. So yes, there is support for developing some type of a comprehensive plan to help our most vulnerable communities. And yes, there is support for annual sessions. And I'm not real sure why it keeps getting stalled, except that there are some people that think if we go to annual sessions, maybe we're trying to increase our salary, and I'm like, there's nothing in there about that. We just want to be able to, if something is not correct when we do sine die, we know that we can come back in 2022, and whether it's 45 days here and 45 days or 30 days, whatever the mix is, but we know that the very next year we can come back and we can fix it. So what we do in the interim is we work on fixing whatever that unintended consequence was, so when we get back, we can hit the ground running. Now, you got to wait 18 months, and that doesn't make sense.
Let's take another break, and we'll be right back with State Senator Pat Spearman after this.
Tamarack Casino is giving away 2 Mercedes-Benz during the $125,000 Benz or cash giveaways. Plus, players get 5 times points on video reels every Friday. Win 2 Mercedes-Benz now through May at Tamarack Casino.
Hi, I'm Renee Summerauer, digital news anchor here at 7 at 7. Watch our streaming nonstop newscast immediately with your mobile phone. 7 at 7 is the new way for you to get every bit of local news you need in just 7 minutes. Breaking news, local neighborhood news, weather, and sports are just a click away. Reporters bring you all of what's happening in the Valley. From Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and more. Get every bit of local news you need from the RJ and LVR.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you. But we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Tamarack Casino is giving away 2 Mercedes-Benz during the $125,000 Benz or cash giveaways. Plus, players get 5 times points on video reels every Friday. Win 2 Mercedes-Benz now through May at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Pat Spearman of Senate District 1. Senator Dina Neal had 2 bills passed out of your committee. One was unanimous, one was almost unanimous. Of those 2, one of them was killed on the Secretary's desk, the other moved to Finance. What happened? Were you surprised, shocked, upset?
And I'm trying to remember, I think it was 320 and 314, but I can't remember which one. The one that was on the Secretary's desk, I think what she was trying to do, there was some glitches in it, and she was trying to fix. Unfortunately, she ran out of time. And again, that's unfortunate because whatever was in there that she was trying to fix, she won't be able to fix until 2023. But let me say this, Senator Neal is I'm sure that her dad is proud of her. She is inquisitive. She asks really tough questions. Before she came to the Senate, if I was going to present in any committee that was on the Assembly side, I did twice the amount of research and work because I knew she was going to ask some in-depth questions. So the bills and things that she brings are what I call heart bills. Heart bills because she's understanding the people that she represents and what that means. And so they all come from a place of how can I help, not just my constituents, but I've got people like my constituents all over Nevada. So the bill, and like I said, I don't remember which one it was, but I know that she was still trying to work out some of the glitches in it to make sure that we got it done. Some people said, well, just send it over to the Assembly and fix it, but she's not that kind of person.
But you weren't upset that these bills...
I was disappointed because I thought that there was some merit in it. But I also know that, like I said, you know, with the time limit that we have 120 days. And if you look, every session we've met since I've been here, it's been close to 1,000 bills. And so that's almost impossible to do. And so the person who's carrying the bills has got to really work like a beaver to try to get everything done. I thought that they would pass, and I thought with some stoking, I thought that we could get them passed.
We only have a couple of minutes left, but I wanted to ask you, Sarah Peters came out on the Assembly floor and said that she was pansexual. That sent a lot of people rushing to Google to figure out what that actually meant. It seems like we are going through not only a racial revolution in this country, but also a sexual revolution where equality is coming to the fore. Are you happy where the state of things are? And as you look forward, do you feel comfortable that America is moving in the right direction?
So here's what I'll say, and I said this when 2020 came in. I said 2020, when you hear that, that means you have perfect eyesight. So 2020, in my mind, was going to be a year of not revolution, but revelation. And I think that's what's happening because we're becoming more aware of the diversity of God's creation. God didn't make all roses. He didn't make all daffodils. God made a bunch of different flowers. There's not one type of grass. There are a lot of different types of grass, not one type of tree. And so what we're doing, some people may call it revolution, but I call it revelation, because we're becoming more aware that you don't have to look like me to be okay, and I don't have to look like you to be okay. I applaud Assemblywoman Peters, because that does take a certain amount of courage, because there are a number of people who went to Google to try to find out what that was. And so it's that courage of one's convictions that says, this is what I need to do. And I will say this. If you have someone who is brave enough to admit that, to embrace that publicly, then that says a lot about their moral turpitude and about their compass, because that means that they are unafraid to be honest. And if they're unafraid to be honest about themselves, they can be unafraid to be honest about you. A number of people said that to me when I ran, because I ran out, and they were like, oh God, nobody's ever done that. Do you think it's, I said, no. And it's important for people to know who I am. I'm not trying to be in a closet and then, wake up one morning and everything's blasted. No, this is who I am. And people have to know that I'm comfortable with that. And if I'm comfortable and I can embrace that publicly, know for sure I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try to hide anything from you, because this was something, nobody would admit this publicly unless they were ready to deal with the wrath.
Well, I always thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're always a terrific guest.
Ask me back.
I would love to. Will you be able to make time to come back before the end of session? Because we got 3 more pages of stuff to ask you about. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Brian Culpa Photography was born in the rolling hills of Massachusetts, and now he can help you experience the stunning beauty of Nevada in a whole new way through the power of flight. Flying has always been a passion for Brian, and at Brian Culpa Photography, he can make your imagination soar. Brian has the creative mind and tools to tell your unique story. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculpaphotography.com.
Hi, my name's Marilyn Miner, and I'm sure you'd agree that Nevada's a very special place to live. I was born here, and my husband and I have raised our family here. I feel it's a privilege to live and work in the Truckee Meadows. I especially enjoy helping my clients reach their real estate goals. Sometimes the smallest details provide the greatest satisfaction. I'd be complimented to talk to you about your next move.
Call Marilyn Miner at Dixon Realty, 742-1280, or log on to marilynminer.com.
Safety. We all think about it. You think about it when he buckles in, when you check your mirrors and put away your phone. RTC thinks about safety too. In fact, we create it. Center turn lanes mean fewer blind spots. Bike lanes keep cyclists and you safe. Roundabouts reduce injury collisions, and all these crosswalks are designed to keep families like yours safe. Safety is your priority, and it's ours too. Every day, in everything we do.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers on television, radio, audio and video podcasts, and YouTube. We'll see you on the next broadcast coming to you from Carson City. See you then.